Welcome to Green and Glamorous. So recently I posted a video about my wood burning stove that I have in my kitchen. It's a very large size, very efficient wood burning stove made by Regency. The model number is F3500. I had talked about the using of the wood burning stove and specifically that model, but there was a lots of views and some question that I had about more details about that that specific unit. So I will going to make a second video about a review of the Regency 3500, and I will discuss some pro and con about in comparison to the another small size wood burning stove that I have in another room, which is made by Yodo, a Norwegian company. So I made it another video and posted in the channel. So kindly watch that. You will get some information about why you need a small size wood burning stove and what are the things that you should careful about choosing a small size unit. So I will show you in details a little bit various features of this Regency F35, and often I'll make a comparison with the other unit. Pro and con, so you'll get more idea about what are the elements in these two wood burning stove. So I'm showing that Regency 3500 F3500 model. So earlier I talked about this another video, some information, so you might want to see that. What I wanted to highlight in this video is that some of the elements in comparison to the Yodel small size wood burning stove that I have, and I made a review and talked about that small size wood burning stove and why you would need that. So I'll make some of the comparison with that unit. So as you see that here in the in back there is a fire brick. So actually two side, back, and the floor has a fire brick. So this fire brick actually about 2-inch thick. So this is made with very thick metal plate, but metal plate still is a plate, not a cast iron. It doesn't have lots of volume of the metal that the other small unit has. So if fire brick is needed for the unit that has a metal plate. So having that metal plate, even though from outside it looks very large, but inside it will lose a few inches. But my small unit that Yodo will the inside box is comparatively larger. So that's the one thing. And as you can see that this vent of controlling is the airflow is here. So and the air goes from, there is a ledge in the opening, so the air goes from there, and from the floor there is about 3-inch ledge. And unlike my Yodel, which is I could have opened this ledge and clean it, there is no way to clean it because the whole mechanism is connected to it. So I'm not sure why this unit they had to make this. They couldn't have this from front and maybe from the side somewhere a little bit of elevated. Why they had to do it from bottom? So if I were redesigning this unit and I was in charge, definitely that would be my first concern, and I will change it. Because when a little bit of ash build up, that opening of the airflow get slightly blocked, and you would not have a control of that the valve that he wanted to have air. I mean, it will flow, but it's not that exactly the beginning of the fire versus after 8-9 hours of fire when ash builds up. So other thing is that this is fixed. You cannot, the other one on my ledge, you could have cleaned that, so not that important. So as I mentioned earlier, that because of the ledge, it is very difficult to clean the ash when you need to clean, because even scooping out is difficult. Forget about brushing out. Unlike my util, this is not easy to clean. So util, as you see that, I could put in a dustpan and actually sweep all the ash with a brush right on the dustpan and removing the edgeless. So because of the air vent, they had to raise this 3-inch, and that created an inconvenience to that. Now, if you read the specification on maker of this Regency, you would say, oh well, we created a wonderful way of cleaning the ash. So right where that vent was, there was a fire break there, and there was a hole. And after you, when you need to clean, they will say that you remove the brick, and there is a actually little chamber underneath, and you would put a bucket right here, and it will brush off all the ash down into the bucket to clean it out. So that's, they would describe it as a they have a wonderful mechanism to solve that problem. But actually that is not the solving of the problem. That's a theoretically and making things that actually is almost useless, because dropping from that high to ash to the bottom bucket, all the ash will go to the air and will spread out inside the room, and that you wanted to avoid. And also, if some of the ash builds up on that, how you would clean that bottom, this one. So who wants to really get in a messy cleaning that you're trying to clean the ash from upper chamber, now you have to clean the down chamber also. And so this mechanism is really useless. I would say that, well, mechanism there, somebody could use it, but then you will create more other problem for cleaning. So I don't do it. My installer recommended that not to do so. And so I just scoop out, and still I will have it, some ash will remain at the close to the edge. So that is a drawback. So overall, I would say that if they would have solved the problem of air vent from a little bit higher or from somewhere from the top, they could have solved two issues. So in the smaller wood burning stove that I showed, so that don't have that problem, so they actually made a very efficient way to taking the air inside using the vent from the top, also from providing an opportunity to clean the box very efficiently without so much ash dust creating. And the locking mechanism, you have a latch. This latch is a good metal, but it still is not as thick and durable as the other unit. So hopefully this will last longer time. But other unit, Yodel, I would not have to worry. That's been pretty long time. And this is the hinge mechanism. I say that this is the actually second hinge was adapted to install, because the first hinge came in with the original hinge was a very bad design. Very tiny amount of a metal was connected to the door hinge. So after 1 week, it fell apart. So my installer was very irresponsible, and they came in right away, and they ordered the parts and the older parts and installed this. Thankfully that the older parts, that is much better design, actually was able to put that door back using the older hinge part. So that is, I think that they have to really, that was a poor design. Just the design part was really wrong. But overall, this unit, as I mentioned, this is one of the best energy efficient, freestanding fireplace you can have in the US, beside few negative things that I discussed. So of course, every item has a pro and con. So hopefully you'll make the best decision for yourself. And if you don't have a large space to you have a limited space, so you need to consider to a smaller unit. So think about a smaller unit and see the other video. And also, as I mentioned, that Uadol, the small unit that I really recommend. Even though I did not buy it, the former owner of this house had installed it, and he had installed all the best possible into the house. So I would recommend that too.